Welcome to the deep dive. So today we're tackling something we all do constantly, just talking to each other.
Right.
Our focus, it's going to be the real fundamentals of everyday English conversation, specifically introductions and, small talk.
Exactly. And we've got this really great lesson material that breaks down practical English for those real-world interactions.
Yeah.
Think of it like a guide to feeling a bit more comfortable, more self-assured in those daily chats.
Our mission then, it's pretty simple, but honestly quite vital.
Mm.
We want to equip you with the key phrases, yes, but also a real feel for how native speakers kick off conversations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And how they handle those light social exchanges. It's all about boosting your confidence, really one conversation at a time.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, so let's get into it. Starting with those crucial first moments. Meeting someone new. What are the essential bits for making a good first impression in English?
Well, the very first thing, obviously, is meeting someone new. And this lesson, it really highlights a very polite way to start things off. I don't think we've met before. I'm Emma.
Right.
What's interesting there, I think, is the nuance. It's kind of gentle.
How so?
Well, it softens any feeling that you should know them. It respects that maybe you have met, but maybe they don't remember. It's just less direct.
Yeah, makes sense. More courteous.
Exactly.
And then the classic reply, the one we probably all know.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Simple, effective. Everyone gets it.
Totally. And the source material we're looking at also throws in, pleased to meet you.
Right, which is just a touch more formal.
Yeah, it gives you options depending on where you are, who you're talking to.
So once you've done the hellos, the pleasantries,
Yeah.
you probably want to keep it going, right?
Mm-hmm.
A really handy phrase for that, especially if you're both kind of new somewhere, is, are you new here?
That's a good one. Works anywhere, really. New job.
Class, maybe even just move to the area.
Yeah. It's just a natural way to find some common ground, isn't it?
It is. It's like a gentle nudge, like, hey, we're both figuring this out.
Right. And building on that, if they are new, you might ask something like, how are you finding it so far?
Yeah, and the lesson points out this basically means, how's it going? Or maybe, do you like it?
So it shows you're actually interested in how they're settling in.
Exactly. Give them a chance to share a bit.
Okay. And another key one, trying to understand, why someone's in this new place.
Ah, yes. What brought you here?
That's quite direct, but useful.
It is, but think of it like asking, so what's your story? In this specific context, it's pretty open-ended.
Right. So they can say, work, school.
Yeah, or family, or maybe they just wanted a change. It really encourages them to share a little more about themselves, what got them there.
These really are the building blocks, aren't they? Foundational stuff.
Absolutely.
Okay, so to help these phrases kind of stick, let's just say them. Imagine you're actually using them. First one. I don't think we've met before.
Slight pause. Nice to meet you.
Slight pause. How are you finding it so far?
Slight pause. What brought you here?
Okay, great. Got those basic intro phrases down. Now, let's switch gears a bit. Small talk.
Ah, the art of small talk.
Yeah. It's more than just filling silence, isn't it? How does it actually, work as a social thing? This is where it gets quite interesting.
Well, small talk, as the lesson describes it, it's that light, casual chat. It might seem kind of trivial, but it's actually super important for, building connections. And let's face it, getting through those moments where silence feels, awkward.
Definitely. Its power is often kind of overlooked, I think.
It really is.
So think about those shared spaces, right?
Mm-hmm.
Waiting somewhere, coffee shop, a simple way to start.
Mind if I sit here?
Nice and polite. The source notes, it's just a slightly shorter way of saying, do you mind if I sit here?
Exactly. Considerate, respects their space.
And if they're cool with it, a friendly reply might be?
Not at all. Which just means, yeah, sure, it's fine. Says a welcoming tone, doesn't it?
It does. A small thing,
Yeah.
but makes a difference.
For sure.
Okay, so you sit down. What's a classic easy opener?
Busy day.
Yeah.
So simple.
Really easy to answer, low commitment,
Yeah.
and pretty much everyone can relate somehow.
It's safe, right. Not too personal. Lets
Yeah.
them answer briefly or say more if they want.
Exactly. And following that, maybe someone shares something relatable, like just taking a break,
Okay.
which usually suggests, they're pausing from work or maybe just feeling a bit stressed.
Creates that instant connection, that shared feeling.
Right. I get eating a moment.
And who hasn't needed a caffeine hit? The lesson has a great example for that.
Oh, yeah. I needed some caffeine to survive the afternoon.
Love that. It's lighthearted, a bit funny.
And super relatable for
Yeah.
so many people. It's a great way to inject a bit of personality, show you're not taking things too seriously.
Totally agree.
These little shared moments, they build rapport, and actually, they can sometimes lead to, more meaningful chats later on. Definitely. So just like before, let's try these out. Imagine you're there. Mind if I sit here?
Slight pause. Busy day.
Slight pause. Just taking a break.
Slight pause. I needed some caffeine to survive the afternoon.
Great. So we've got these phrases now. Let's think about how they actually fit together in a real conversation.
Yeah, the lesson actually encourages active participation here, a sort of simulated chat. This is where you can really see how the pieces connect.
Exactly. So we'll give you the first line, and we want you, the listener, to just imagine how you'd respond naturally. Ready? Here it is. Hi there. I don't think we've met before. I'm Sarah.
Pause. Okay, now picture the conversation continuing. Maybe the person says back, "Nice to meet you. Are you new here?" How would you answer that? What would you share? Keep it kind of brief, relevant.
Pause. And then maybe they follow up with, what brought you here? Again, think about your reason for being there. How would you say it just naturally?
Pause. And finally, perhaps, do you like it so far? Think about your honest first thoughts. How would you phrase that politely? This kind of mental rehearsal, it's actually really key for building that confidence.
It really is. Okay, changing tack slightly. Let's touch on something that can sometimes trip up learners. Pronunciation. Specifically, connected speech.
Ah, yeah. How native speakers actually sound.
It's crucial, isn't it? So what's the interesting thing about this part of spoken English?
Well, what's fascinating is how words just flow together. In natural speech, our brains kind of look for efficiency, right? So words blend. It's not always as clear-cut as reading words off a page or learning single words. This connected speech, it can make understanding native speakers tricky if you're not tuned into it.
Yeah, I can see that. The lesson gives some good examples, right? Like, do you like it?
Exactly. In connected speech, that often sounds more like, do you like it? See how the do you kind of squishes together?
Yeah, it does.
Another really common one, what are you doing? That often becomes, what you're doing.
What you're doing.
Right.
Much faster, more fluid.
Recognizing that contraction is a big help for listening.
And the last one mentioned is going to.
Oh, yeah. Almost always gonna in casual chat, like, I'm gonna go now.
I'm going to go now. Recognizing these little shifts is just vital, isn't it, for understanding people better and maybe even sounding a bit more natural yourself.
Absolutely. Understanding these small changes, it really can significantly boost your ability to follow real spoken English.
Yeah.
It's kind of like cracking a code.
Yeah, unlocks more fluid communication.
Bridges that gap between textbook learning and, well, the real world.
Definitely. Okay, so just to recap our deep dive today, we've covered those essential phrases for introductions.
Those crucial first steps.
Then we looked into the nuances of effective small talk, how to build that connection, navigate social moments.
That light conversation, yeah.
And finally, we touched on those first important steps in understanding connected speech, how words naturally blend together.
And these aren't just, random phrases. They're genuinely foundational skills.
Right.
Whether it's a new job, a party, just chatting to someone new. These tools are going to be so useful in everyday English. They're the base layer, really, for more complex conversations.
Absolutely. And that brings us to our final thought for you to mull over. Think about the impact, the ripple effect of these seemingly small, everyday chats. How do they actually help build relationships? How do they help us just navigate new places, new situations? And maybe what other simple bits of communication actually hold surprising depth?
Yeah, that's a great point. It's often in those little things, those subtleties, that real connection and understanding happen.
Exactly. Well, thanks for taking this deep dive with us.
Hey folks, if you love our content, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for your support.